Welcome back to my channel, the best place for hardworking millennials to gain career clarity and learn about career soft skills. In this video, I'm going to teach you the incredible soft skill of saying no with 5 easy ways to say no to people at work completely guilt-free. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell to receive regular updates on all things related to career soft skills and career clarity. I also have a Facebook group called Career Clarity and Soft Skills where you can connect with like-minded individuals who are interested in maximizing their potential. Hi, I'm Dr. John Tam. I have a PhD from the University of Oxford in sociology, and I love to help people figure out their careers and build soft skills at work. In my last video, I talked about the importance of owning up to your feelings and setting healthy boundaries at work. But what if people are asking something of you? In this video, I'm going to teach you 5 powerful ways to say no to others at work without feeling guilty. And this video is about saying no to people who are at a similar level to you. So they're actually people you can say no to, right? In another video, I'll teach you how to say no to your boss. If you're watching this video, that probably means you are probably more agreeable than others. And that's actually a personality trait that's mostly rooted in our temperament, which is our nature. So struggling to say no, feeling like a pushover, these types of feelings would be common problems that you'll probably experience at home and at work. So therefore, it's important for you to know your personality, because that way you can leverage your strengths and cover your weaknesses. And I talk about this in the soft skills development principles video here that I have, where I talk about Jordan Peterson's approach to soft skills. If you want to know what your personality is relative to everyone else, take the free Big 5 personality traits test that I have in the description below. But before entering the 5 ways, I want to talk about the mindset of saying no, right? Which is the foundation of it all. The basic principle is that when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. This is an important mindset switch because we need to differentiate whether you're being selfish or you're practicing self-care. Essentially, if you're saying yes to someone's priorities at work, you're saying no to your own. So you need to establish the mindset that you need to own up to the fact that your priorities are important to your personal well-being and work satisfaction. So without further ado, here are the 5 ways to say no to people at work without feeling guilty. The first way to say no is to be direct and straightforward. Does this sound familiar? You're swamped at work and someone else is asking for your help. Instead of giving them the "I'm sorry, I'm not able to help you," you say, maybe I'm kind of busy, I don't know how much time I can spare. Right? Sending mixed messages that you're busy, but it's possible that you can help and you can be convinced to prioritize their stuff over yours is a big no-no. Because the result is they'll double down on their request. Basically, the problem is that if you waver in your response, you're inviting more pressure, especially if the person is relatively more disagreeable than you to begin with. That's why a reliable personality test like the one that you just took is going to be super helpful. Also, how you say it matters. Consider these 2 ways. I don't have time to help you versus I don't have time to help you because I'm working on a report that's due by the end of the day. The first one can be interpreted as a personal attack, but the second one is saying no because you actually have another priority and you cannot help. Make sure you tell the truth and not make up reasons, because people are always able to have ways of finding things out at work, and you don't want to develop a reputation of having a lack of integrity. So basically, don't give excuses and don't tell a lie. Also, don't stall for time. It's pretty obvious. We all do it and we can smell it when other people are doing it. And it's disrespectful to the person who may actually be clinging onto the false hope and waiting for your help. It invites them to persuade you some more, and it also prolongs the situation more than necessary. And you'll also keep thinking of different ways of saying no. It's going to be in the back of your mind while you're working, and you'll be distracted the whole time, and you'll basically be miserable. So don't give an excuse, because people will try to solve your problem. For example, I can't help you with the spreadsheet because Jill is waiting for my report. When you give an excuse like that, they'll actually go and talk to Jill, which then blows open your excuse when Jill says that it's actually not a rush. And then therefore, they'll like, okay, Jill says it's not a rush, let's reprioritize, right? They can also negotiate the problem for you, which means that you'll be actually cornered into a compromise that you hate. Simply put, a direct, honest, and respectful no would preempt any unnecessary drama or headaches. If you want further details on this, I actually did a video about setting healthy boundaries at work here above, so definitely check it out if you want to set the boundary before even getting to the whole conversation of no. The second way to say no is to replace the no, right? No is hard to say because it's a harsh and it's quite a final word, right? It's no, it's over, right? We're worried that it'll come back and bite us in our gluteus maximus, which is our buttocks, which is our butt, by burning bridges and ruining our reputation and just making us seem like a non-team player. If you're on good terms with your coworker, these types of responses in place of no typically will work. I can't commit to this right now because I'm focused on an important project. This will signal that you're busy and unable to stop your work. Another option is, I'd like to help you, but I'm flooded at the moment because of this project right now. This will signal to the coworker that they are important to you, but there's a good reason why you're unavailable. Another thing you can say is, I have people depending on me to finish this work. If I stop to help you, I'll be letting them down. It explains that you must decline their request because of another commitment that you've made prior to them asking you. All these things will make people think again whether they should be even asking you for you to drop your obligations. None of them use the word no, and it definitely softens the blow, and it works pretty much in all situations, whether it's at work or at home. The third way to say no is to ask them to follow up. And when I say that, what I mean is if you cannot accommodate a request at the current moment, tell them to follow up later. Say something like, I don't have time to help you right now, but check in with me at 4:30. I'll be less swamped then. With this, you eliminate the pressure of answering on the spot and sort out whether you can actually help them or not, right? You can actually think like, what do I have to do and can I actually help you? You're not committing to anything, but it shows that you're willing to consider this request. However, you may need to emphasize that you're not obligating yourself to say yes so that they don't think like, okay, come back at 4:30 and you're gonna help me. It's not gonna be that way, right? So there's three outcomes to this typically. First, the coworker gets help elsewhere, which is good for you and them. They solve their problem quicker and you're free of the extra work. The second thing is they figure it out themselves and they become less dependent on you, which is also a good thing because they don't ask you in the future because they've actually acquired a new skill. If the person does actually follow up, then you would have had time to consider whether you can actually help them and perhaps even prepare on how to say no by watching one of my videos. But how are you going to get these videos? Of course, by subscribing and clicking the notification bell so that you can receive regular career advice that will help you. The fourth way is to offer an alternative. When you say no, give them another alternative so that they're not left hanging. Usually it means mentioning others to replace your aid. And at the same time, keep in mind that you don't owe them anything. Unless you actually do owe them something, and in that case, it's a different ballgame, right? So you actually don't have to take a step if you don't want to. You can mention things like, I'm unavailable to help right now, but you might want to ask James because I know he's got some downtime and he may be available. Or, I want to help, but I'm not available until 3 p.m. If this can't wait, you can try Esther. She may be willing to help. Or you can also say something like, this sounds like a tough task. I'm focused on completing this project right now and I don't want to lose my momentum. But I know Chris is looking for a challenge, so maybe you want to ask him. If you're already committed to helping the requester or something, you can ask them to help you prioritize, right? So for example, hey, I'm barely able to keep up with helping you with project X. I can continue to help you with that or switch this, but not both. Which one would you prefer me to work on? You can also offer the alternative for doing only a part of the request. For example, you can say, I want to help, but I don't have time to manage the budget, plan the presentation, and deliver the talk. I'll be happy to prepare the budget. Sound fair enough? You can also refer someone more qualified, skilled, or interested than you so you can stay on task. You can say something like, Dan, I've never reviewed marketing videos before and it's not a strength of mine, so I'd rather not critique yours. But I do know that Jess has some experience in marketing and loves media work, so I bet she may be happy to help. Offering alternative help pretty much works in all situations from work to home. But remember, it's only a goodwill gesture and it's a delicate balance. You don't want to keep recommending other people and get other teammates annoyed. So there is a caveat to this one. The fifth and final way is to describe how stretched thin you are. This is a powerful one and it really makes people drop their request. You can't just say, I don't have time to help you today, because it'll invite a negotiation about time. Like, the meeting will only take an hour and you'll go back and like, last time it took 2.5 hours, and then they'll negotiate like, yo, this time I'll make it 1.5 hours max. And then you're kind of involved, but not really. And then there's also a follow-up meeting, which you'll get invited to, and you don't really want to show up for that because you only showed up for part of the first one, and so on, right? So nip this in the bud by saying, I'd be glad to help on any other day, but today's a no-go for me. See my schedule. I got 2 projects to complete by tonight, and each will take 3 hours. I also have 2 1-hour meetings today, assuming that they don't overrun. And then I got a call to do before the end of the day, and then some follow-ups due over the phone and email. I'll probably be snacking the whole day because I can't really fit in lunch. I literally don't have time to help today. And we really can't have these days at work. And if it's true, you can communicate this totally guilt-free by describing how literally stretched thin in detail so that you can clearly communicate you have other responsibilities and priorities. People will usually understand and won't even bother negotiating with you if you're able to communicate this effectively. By saying no, you find that your coworkers will have more respect for your time if you stop consenting to every request that comes by, and they'll also realize that you're most likely to lend a hand only when you are available. As a result, you can have more time to pursue your own goals, strike a better work-life balance, and feel like you're actually less drained at work because you're not saying yes to everything. Most importantly, you won't feel like you're being taken advantage of all the time, and that resentment can really build up to be something quite nasty, right? These 5 ways would best help agreeable people say no, or perhaps even help disagreeable people say no with a little bit more tact. If you want to know where you stand on this spectrum of agreeableness in personality, be sure to take the free personality test in the links below. Also, make sure to join my Facebook group, Career Clarity and Soft Skills, to be in a community of people interested in building soft skills for their career success. Give this video a like and leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. For my next video, I'm going to be talking about how to say no to your boss respectfully. So be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to receive updates, and also share this video with your friends if you found this to be valuable. Take care, everybody.